With Naomi on her shoulders, powering up to a vertical. Naomi lands on her feet. This is wildly. Oh, Jade's got it.
It's on the top floor.
Wow. And now Cargill's got her where she wants her. Jaded by Jade Cargill. What a WrestleMania performance.
Hey, what's going on YouTube land? It's me, TJ, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Wrestling Nostalgia. Back at it again with yet another wrestling video. So this is a review of WrestleMania Night 1, and honestly, it was pretty okay. It was a over-glorified SmackDown. Just me in my opinion, but without further ado, let me go ahead and get straight into the video. This probably won't have like a whole lot of edits because honestly, I'm gonna be real with you, I was kind of disappointed, but let's go ahead and get right into the video. So we open up night 1 with Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. This was, a pretty decent bout. Honestly, Jey Uso did come, and he did come hard, and I'm so glad that he reduced those super kicks, because if we got another super kick fest, oh my goodness, I would have tore him a new one. So I will give him that. They did wrestle a pretty decent pace match, but I don't know. I think it's because of the build of the matchup why I wasn't really all that into it. They had a little back and forth. They had a decent bout. The only thing about it is I'm not mad about Jey Uso winning the world title. I'm mad about how it ended. Why did Gunther tap out? Like, the Ring General, like King General, he tapped out, and I'm like, huh? Like, congratulations to Jey Uso. And then his brother Jimmy came out and celebrated with him with the world title. Great feel-good moment, all that other good stuff. Nothing bad to say about that. It's just I didn't like the build-up too much. And he's talking about, oh, I was scared. I'm like, huh? Scared? Man, you better grow up, man up, and fight that man. But, I mean, that's all I really have to say. Like I said, they had a pretty decent back-and-forth bout. And, yeah, I mean, the match was cool. It just didn't move me. That's all. We have our next bout that I really feel like should have ended on Raw, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not mad about the New Day being on the WrestleMania card, but it's just how we got there that was kind of really booty. But anyways, it was the New Day versus the Viking Raiders for the World Tag Team titles. They had a pretty decent back and forth bout. The New Day won with cheap tactics, and they hit their finisher move or whatever the case may be, and then one of the New Day members wound up grabbing onto one of the Viking Raiders' feet. 1, 2, 3, your new tag team champions. Nothing really all that special. Nothing really to say about this. I'm glad that the New Day were on the WrestleMania card, but if I had to choose between the New Day and the Street Profits, come on, you already know what it is. Street Profits all day. And then you're going to have a TLC. You're going to have a TLC match on SmackDown instead of the WrestleMania card. I don't even give a damn if it was on the pre-show. But why would you sit up there and just leave them off the card? Like, you gotta be kidding me. And then, let's not even talk about the women's mid-card titles. Why is Lyra Valkyria fighting for the women's tag team title? She already has her own title to fight for. Like, huh? WWE, y'all on y'all best BS. I don't know what y'all got going on over there, but y'all need to get it together, for real.
Congratulations. Bitch, is you serious?
And the next match is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. The match that I love. This was the best built match. The best build up to a WrestleMania match. Like out of all of the WrestleMania card, honestly, in my opinion. The ladies, mamas, yeah, they did their thing. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was actually surprised that it was, it was a decent bout. Like, it was kind of slow, like in the pacing just a little bit. That's the only I guess bad thing or nitpicky, but other than that, like, they really did their thing and they have chemistry in there. I feel like if they get a little bit more comfortable with each other, that they'll really go crazy. But they really did go crazy in that match though. Like, well, I'm not even gonna lie, that little bulldog thing that Naomi did on the top rope, baby, Trish Stratus would blush, okay? Because that was amazing. And then that whole thing where Naomi wound up like diving into a running jackhammer suplex maneuver, that was really, really good. And when Naomi tried to do the dive out again on the top rope, and then Jade wound up like catching her and then throwing her over, yo, they went crazy in that match. And then like, oh my goodness, the biggest spot that I've seen, because Naomi actually did some pretty good spots too. She had did that little X Factor little move, like she had dragged Naomi. Tell me, this is like the beginning of the match when she did the X Factor, when she was like hanging her, draping her at ringside on the apron, and then she just bam, that was dope. I thought that was it, but anyways, at the end of the match, Jade Cargill wound up doing a twisting powerbomb. Like she had Naomi like on her shoulders, and then she wound up like pushing her and then turning, bam, powerbomb. She kind of did something similar to that when she had did like a punt kick into a powerbomb. Yo, that was dope. And then she did that move. Yo, and then she wound up doing a Jaded and 1, 2, 3. Jade wound up winning this bout. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not all that surprised that she won. I really wanted Naomi to win, but I have a good feeling that this is not going to be the end between these two and this feud. I mean, definitely with this won't make any sense because of the fact of like how personal this got. I mean, she tried to end her career. She was gone for months. So I don't feel like Naomi is done with Jade. Jade may be done with this whole situation, but Naomi's coming back. Like she's healed. It's just no way. But congratulations to Jade, and hopefully, you know, we see next year she wins the Royal Rumble or something. I'm making a bold prediction. I know that this is like almost a year in advance. But my prediction is that Jade Cargill is going to win the Royal Rumble, and she's probably going to win the Women's Championship or the Women's World Championship. But we have a draft lottery coming up. I think, if the reports are right, we're going to have a draft lottery. So I don't know if she's still going to be on SmackDown or Raw or whatever, but we'll wait and see. In our next matchup, it is Jacob Fatu taking on the United States champion, LA Knight. So this match was actually really good, honestly. And they definitely came to do their thing. Of course, you know, Fatu came in aggressively. And at first, I'm not going to lie, before I even get into the match, I remember seeing Solo coming out with him. And I was like, oh my goodness, please, Solo, please just go ahead and get in the back. He does not need your help. But he did, and I was so happy about that. I said, because we ain't got time for you to cost him and all that. He needs his debut WrestleMania. He needs to win it. But like I said, Jacob Fatu winds up being the aggressor and everything like that. And of course, LA Knight is not playing around either. The two have like a back and forth bout. I remember at one point, the one spot that I was like, damn, was when Jacob Fatu wound up doing a pump up moonsault. And then LA Knight winds up turning it into a BFT or whatever that his finisher is. And then he almost won. That actually should have, that should have been the it. That should have been the end. And he wound up putting his hand on the rope, and I was like, yeah, LA Knight, dang, you know. Guess Jacob Fatu was a little bit more formidable opponent, was a tougher opponent than you thought he was. The two have like a little back and forth bout. Then towards the end of the match, Jacob Fatu winds up doing 2 pump-up moonsaults. 1, 2, 3, your new United States champion, Jacob Fatu. I'm so glad that he won in his debut match at WrestleMania. No shade to LA Knight, but honestly, he should have never lost that United States Championship to Shinsuke Nakamura in the first place, because otherwise he would have had a lengthy run. I don't know. I mean, did they not have anything for him to do or any opponents to line up? Like, it just didn't make any sense. It just seemed like they were just doing it just to do it. But hey, whatever. I'm pretty sure LA Knight could, you know, eventually win the world title. Hopefully he does. Honestly, I don't understand why we're still going on with this Cody thing. Hopefully, night 2 of WrestleMania, he loses the championship, because honestly, is just not doing anything for him. And LA Knight definitely deserves to be a world champion in the near future. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Royal Rumble win or something. Maybe they'll save it for that moment and then win the world championship. Hopefully that is the case, because honestly, I'm going to make a bold prediction. I feel like that LA Knight will make a better world champion than Cody Rhodes. He'll have a better run. Because honestly, this babyface run of Cody Rhodes, and I know this is not about Cody yet, because we still got night 2 of WrestleMania to go, but it just ain't it for me. But hey, that's you guys' king. In our next bout, we have Rey Fenix versus Chad Gable. Grande Americano. They had a pretty decent back and forth bout. Like, they actually had a really, really, really great match, actually. Whew, I'm trying to tell you, with the suplexes, Germans, and everything like that, nobody can convince me that Chad Gable, hell, whatever. Chad Gable, goddammit. We're not gonna play these games. But can't nobody convince me that Chad Gable isn't the second coming to Kurt Angle, because his moves are crisp. He does his thing. A former Olympian and all that other good stuff. Hats up to Chad Gable, but I just hate the fact that he had to come up with this El Americano gimmick for him to get over and get on the WrestleMania card. Because honestly, I don't care what anybody says. Sammy should have never been on the WrestleMania card last year. That was Chad Gable's moment. Everybody knows it. So now they're giving him this, I guess, as a I'm sorry gift or whatever. But honestly, this was BS because Sami Zayn not even on this WrestleMania. So they know this was a flop. Like they thought this, a Sammy was going to go up. My whole thing is y'all told a compelling story way more than with Sammy and Gunther. With Chad and Gunther, it was personal and we got invested. Like that man got beat up in front of his kid and y'all going to give it to Sammy because, Sammy's the bigger than. We don't care. Now Sammy is up in obscurity now. He's not even on this WrestleMania card. So obviously this was a flop. And y'all know that. So y'all now, you know what? It is what it is. Bada boom, bada bang. 1, 2, 3. Chad Gable wins. El Americano wins this match with cheap tactics because Ray Phoenix wound up kicking El Americano in the face, but he had the little plate or whatever in his head that he put in his head. And then he was injured. So he wound up finishing them off. 1, 2, 3. Chad Gable wins this match. El Americano, it's hard for me to because I already know who it really is, but hey, whatever. But I'm actually glad that he got his WrestleMania debut win here. It is what it is. And everybody's saying, Ray Phoenix, this is his debut match. Well, look here, baby. Everybody can't win him, baby. He just, had to eat the pen, and it's all right. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the next matchup. In our next matchup, it is the Women's Championship match. The match that I probably was least looking forward to only because of the build. And then I just felt like it was other women that could have been in Charlotte's spot. But they wanted the Queen to have a rollout at WrestleMania with the red carpet and everything like that. And also, I find it kind of disrespectful that they had Tiffany Stratton come out before Charlotte Flair, being as though, traditionally the champion always comes out last. So it just didn't make any sense to me. The two had a clunky matchup. I'm not going to lie. I was not a big fan of this match. And I really thought, honestly, I thought it was going to be a really, really great bout. They didn't put on a horrible match, but this is not to Charlotte Flair's standards, honestly, because Charlotte normally really goes in there and she just does her thing. And I'm thinking she's going to do her big one here too, but it looked a little clunky. They don't have a whole lot of chemistry in the ring, and it shows. They tried, but it just, and in the way that it kind of ended a little fast. It didn't even feel like it was 19 minutes. Because I remember seeing online that somebody said it was 19 minutes. I was like, that was 19 minutes? It kind of went back kind of fast a little bit. And honestly, this match was a far cry from Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Maybe Charlotte Flair should have picked Rhea Ripley for Rhea and Charlotte too. But hey, it is what it is. That didn't happen. Tiffany Stratton does the prettiest moonsault. 1, 2, 3. She retains the Women's Championship. And another thing too, I seen an interview, I think it was post WrestleMania show, that she was talking about why she did what she did with Tiffany and why it went personal to stand a third. And the way she just sounded very robotic, in her answer. And she just, I don't know, she was reading from a script and then she kept looking over or whatever, she was reading something. And I'm like, huh? I said, I knew from there this match was not going to be all that. And I called it from the beginning that this match wasn't going to be all that. It was, again, I'm not crapping on the match. I'm not saying that it was the worst thing on the show, but when you compare it to everything else, I don't care. I'm going to go on a limb. I feel like Jade Cargill and Naomi put on a better matchup than Tiffany and Charlotte Flair. And that was for the this was a world title. But anyways, congratulations to Tiffany Stratton. And then she looked really beat up too. She had bruises and stuff. And I think she got a tooth chip or a busted lip or something. I was like, goodness gracious. Charlotte said, oh, baby, you going to beat me. If you want to beat the best, you got to put your best foot forward, baby. I was like, dang, she looked horrible. This is the worst I've ever seen Tiffany Stratton. She just looked like she just got in a real bad fight. A real shoot fight. Congratulations to Tiffany. And finally, we have our main event of the night, the triple threat match. It is CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins. So this match actually was very brutal. It was, oh my goodness, pillar to post. Probably one of the hardest hitting matches outside of Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte. It was really, really bad. They were not coming to play. They were just beating each other up all in the rafters and then all over the ring. People getting put through tables and all that other stuff. I remember Seth was all like, we need to work together. Remember the shield, and all that other stuff. And Roman all like, I don't know what to do. Oh my God. Oh. And I'm like, get your ass, get up. The hell you on the floor for, man? You got to put your head in the match. But anyways, go right straight to the end. Roman was looking at Paul Heyman, and then Paul Heyman, I just feel like, honestly, Paul Heyman was too integral of a part of this whole feud. It was very hard to watch because, I mean, we all know that Paul Heyman is a floozy. That man is not loyal to nobody but his dollar. So I'm not surprised by this outcome. It just didn't make any sense just to me, but we're going to get into that. So he gets a chair. He gives it to CM Punk. CM Punk was about to use the chair on Roman Reigns. He winds up low blowing CM Punk, of course, because Paul Heyman is a floozy. He's only loyal to his wallet. So he winds up low blowing him. He gives the chair to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns wears the chair out on CM Punk. It looked like they're going to relive the whole Shield thing when he, hit him with the chair in the back of the head. And unfortunately, it was not going to happen at Mania like it did last year. Roman Reigns winds up getting low blow by Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman gives the chair to Seth. Seth Rollins hits the chair on Roman Reigns. Then he winds up doing the curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins wins this triple threat match. And all this is for Pride, obviously, or for a number one contendership, which should have been the case. And Paul Heyman is aligned with Seth Rollins. So this is the end of night one. Very mid, honestly. I was not impressed. It was some matches that actually I was really loving and looking forward to, and they definitely did not disappoint me as far as in my eyes, like with the Jade Cargill and Naomi match. That was actually a pretty decent bout. And definitely that Jacob Fatu and LA Knight match was definitely top tier. But all the other matches were, kind of like SmackDown matches, honestly. That's just how I feel. But hey, if y'all like the WrestleMania card, comment down below. Let me know. Like, share, and subscribe. Help me grow this channel. Your love and support is definitely greatly appreciated. Welcome. Peace. TJ, I'm out.
You're so pretty.